Howdy YouTube, it is Uncle Bird here with another action figure unboxing. This time we have one from the Jazwares vault, a Ring of Honor action figure. We're going to do the unboxing. And the thing I love a lot about these Jazwares vaults is that they really up the pageantry and, you know, they making the figures feel special. It comes in this outer box, and then look at this. I love this right here. We have another box here featuring the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, on the outside, and that's over the actual action figure packaging. This is the second figure I bought directly from the Jazwares vault, Jazwares.com. The first one was the Mark Briscoe action figure. So let's get into this and see what we're working with here. Now this is the Ring of Honor figure here, and then even inside of the two boxes here we have an additional protective layer in between the actual action figure box. It's just layer after layer of goodness. We have this really cool stylized picture of Christopher Daniels here on this inner box, and I'm thinking that it should just slide out here of this box cover. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty snug, but here we go. Finally, we have 2D action figure box, and let's take a look at this before we open it. Here on the back, you have a very cool picture of Christopher Daniels, and then the lettering even on the name and on the Ring of Honor logo is actually raised. Some really good detail and coolness on this box. Even, I am not a mint on card collector, meaning that I'm going to remove this from the box. I always take them out, but if I were a mint on card collector, this is the type of packaging I would absolutely love. You have the classic Ring of Honor logo here, the name. We have this big window where you get to see everything from the action figure to the accessories and the extra hands. And we have the Jazwares Vault Edition sticker here. Old sticker. So let's get into it. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to end up keeping this box, even though I'm going to open it like I did with the Mark Briscoe action figure. Because if you buy a lot of action figures, you know that this packaging is not something you're going to pick up off the shelf of a Walmart. And I like the fact too that you can actually open the packaging on this without destroying them. That has been my only complaint with the Jazwares packaging from the beginning, is that in order to get into those mainline Jazwares boxes, you have to destroy them. Here, everything is meant to, slide in and out and to be, very user-friendly if you want to, keep the packaging and display it in the packaging after opening. Here we go. Set this right here and get a good look at this action figure while I remove the accessories. Here we go, we got everything out of the package. Now the way that I use what I call the 3A system. Those A's are appearance, articulation, and accessories. So we'll start off with taking a look at the appearance. I love the fact that it comes with the Ring of Honor Championship. I do not have this championship in my collection. I have the Ring of Honor Pure Championship that came with Willard Yuta. And so this is a nice addition to my collection. And we have rubber bands holding on the glasses and the title belt when you receive the figure on display here. And I lost the sunglasses. They just showed off with the rubber band. I am not going to nitpick and try to track those down. Right now, we're just going to get on with the review. But that goes to, when you want to talk about accessories, I really like what It's been happening in the G.I. Joe line and some with the AEW line, where when you have a character that wears shades, they usually build in a mechanism inside the hair that holds the shades. But Christopher Daniels being bald, we don't have that luxury, and so as you can tell, the glasses are a very easy accessory to lose. But as far as appearance goes, I really like the appearance. So let's see if we can get a close-up of the face. It is Christopher Daniels. Great detail in the face. I'm not sure if they use any type of scan technology or not, like Mattel does. And let's take a look. I'm trying to look at this jacket here, see how it comes off. Okay, yeah, it goes over like a shirt. So I would say do not try to, a lot of people, they would be tempted to remove this by opening the front here, but it is sewn on. So when you're doing unboxing yourself, always check the seams of the accessories to see if there's going to be Velcro here, if it's sewed on, how it comes on and off, because a lot of people would destroy this accessory, this entrance robe, just without inspecting the functionality. Now, as far as appearance go, I will say, yeah, it's a great looking action figure. It captures his style here from tights, basic black. We have symbols on the back. I've seen him in more ornate wear. This is a very actually bare bones attire look they have. There are no multiple colors. The only pieces of the material that have any kind of printing on them is the trunks and the entrance jacket. Otherwise, it's just flat black. So they did choose a rather boring attire. We have the tattoo on the chest there, which is fairly accurate, possibly a little bit smaller. Outside of the bland nature of this particular attire, it's a great looking action figure. But, if this is an attire that he actually wore, which I believe it is, I mean, that's not Jazwares' fault. It's realistic to what he wore at times. I think they could have picked a better attire if they were going to do this Jazwares exclusive, this vault exclusive. And so I did that. We have the alternate head here, which is, okay, this is actually pretty cool. This head has no goatee. Back in his TNA Ring of Honor days, he had the goatee. And in his AEW run with SCU, he actually did not have the goatee. And as currently as he's a manager now, this is more the look. And that's one thing I do like about this action figure, is that with a lot of these throwback figures, they can feel dated. And while he's wearing the old Ring of Honor gear, has the Ring of Honor title, and we have this time accurate head, you put this head on, this could be the Christopher Daniels that you see every week being a manager on Ring of Honor today. So I really appreciate that. So the look, I will give the look a B because the attire is just boring. Actually, no, a B plus because the face scans are great and the different utility of the different heads is great. Now let's talk about articulation. It is standard for Jazwares, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. We have the head on a ball joint, and we have a back and forth neck joint as well, with full range of motion, not hindered by a hairdo. Arms go all the way around and up and down. We have a cut on the bicep for horizontal left to right movement. Double jointed pinned elbows in the hands. That comes standard with it. We have a gripping hand and we have a punching hand. They go round and round and back and forth, and they are interchangeable with some of the accessory hands that we have. And the torso is on a swivel, and the hip has a little side-to-side movement, but not too much. The legs come out of the hip at a ball joint, and we have a thigh cut right where the shorts meet the legs, so we're not having any unnecessary lines. You have a double jointed pinned knee that is hindered a little bit by the knee pad. And then going down, we have a boot cup right where the boot meets the calf, so you have no unnecessary lines. The foot goes back and forth, great range of motion back and forth, and side to side. This is actually one of the better articulated feet that I've seen on an action figure. So now that we got that out, let's talk about the accessories. We started with the shades. The shades, they look great, but they're easy to lose accessory. I think even with the bald head, you could have done a divot or something hidden behind the ear. I've seen that done before on G.I. Joe's, as a matter of fact. On Roadblock, they had a divot kind of cut here where you could slide the glasses in and out, and it's not even noticeable. And so I think not having the hair is not an excuse, because let's take a look at Roadblock right here. He has a do-rag here, but even so, you can see that they slide right in over the ear. You can't even tell where that divot is when we look at this action figure. So I think they could have done something similar with the shades. And so the shades, they get the Ring of Honor Championship belt, novel in my collection. It looks great. Let me see. Yeah, as far as the details go, yeah, you go look at that. Okay, this is the actually the television title, not the world championship. Now we get a good look at it, but yeah, the embroidery is beautiful. Great details. You can see all the little, look at that. Get a close up there. So yeah, the Ring of Honor Television Championship. So I don't have a World Championship yet in my collection. I have the Television Championship. A belt with a great lineage, Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal. I believe the current holder is A.R. Fox. He won it from Nick Wayne, who had a brilliant run, I think. And the accessory fits easily around the waist here and looks good on the action figure. So this gets an A+. And then the hand, we have the different hand gestures. Here represented 3 different hands. And then last but not least is we have the entrance jacket. I like it because I have not seen anything like it in action figure form, and it is part of, the character of Christopher Daniels, is this ornate entrance jacket here. While it is basically black and silver, the designs, we have his logo on the back. It almost looks like something that you would see a religious figure wear. Hence he's called the Fallen Angel. And so this right here to me is an A+. I like the fact that they went soft goods with it. This would be a very unwieldy, impractical piece if it were heavier plastic. So they did a great job going with the soft material. If you get one of your own, though, be careful. It does not open on the front here, even though it looks like it does. That is sewn together. It slides over, and you saw it goes on and off pretty easily. Now, before I wrap up this review, here's an interesting thought for you guys. If you guys are WWE fans, now, long-standing rumor that is pretty well known, but not by everybody, is if you remember in the WWE during the Attitude Era, when The Undertaker and the Ministry of Darkness were answering to this mysterious higher power that turned out to be Vince McMahon, it was rumored that the higher power was supposed to be a young Christopher Daniels. Now, the popular story is that when Vince McMahon got eyes on him, he did not like his stature and didn't think that he would fit the bill. And so the popular story is that he was removed from that angle. Vince McMahon substituted himself in, and then he went on the legendary independent run that he did. I have not heard if that is 100% true or not, but I've heard enough people repeat the same story that I would give it some merit. And so overall, um, I give this an A. The only downside being the shades and the bland choice they made with the gear, but the gear is authentic to him. I really like the entrance jacket. I think they could have did something better to secure the shades. Like I gave the example with my Hasbro G.I. Joe Roadblock. Overall, this is well worth the price I paid for it. I believe it was in that $25 range. I think it was $24. And so, yeah, really dig it. If you can get it, well worth it. Get it while you can because these are limited. Go to Jazwares.com, Jazwares Vault, where you can get this and many other action figures. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep watching that wrestling and keep buying them action figures. I'm out.